Hi everyone. I thought I'd do a second part to my sort of makeup review. Now the first part I focused on eyeshadows, and the second part I'm going to review products that I use as foundations, etc., liners and lipsticks and glosses. So I'll try not to be too long because I might have more products than I could imagine, but I'll like to give a bit of feedback basically. So this is from the top of my case. I can't quite get the whole case into the camera, but the tray sits at the top of the case, so I'll be referring to the case at some other point. Now, what I thought to do is just have a little look through the foundations and things that I use. So, the first thing I would like to review on are primers. This is a face primer, an eye primer, and I actually have another one, but I'll get to that one in a minute. Now this one's an all-in-one primer from Body Shop. I've only just picked this one up. Now it's quite a clear consistency. It's supposed to be like a concealer and primer. I've only just started to use it, so far the texture is amazing. It feels great on the skin. The only concern I have, and I'm not sure if it's a fault of my own or the product, is that you can notice the lines in my eyes. It kind of goes into the creases, not wrinkles, the creases of the eyes. So when I've applied an eyeshadow on top, you could start noticing a line. So my understanding of a primer is that that's not supposed to happen. However, the only thing I could think that could cause that is that I do tend to use coconut oil on my eyes, which is amazing, but maybe I need to wait a bit longer before I put on the primer on top of the coconut oil. So that's the Body Shop primer. Now this primer is from Bare Minerals, and it's kind of like got a tan tone to it. It's for daily wear, including the eyes. I think it's very good if you don't want to wear foundation every day and clog up your pores and so on and so forth. I think this is actually great to wear on a regular basis. Apparently it's supposed to darken as you darken, but I'm not sure about that because I've not used it throughout the summer yet. But generally as a primer I think it's pretty good. So that's from Bare Minerals, and that comes in a pump. So the other primer that I suggested, I think on the other video, here it is. So this is the MAC primer. Let's open that up. Now it's a very, very light primer. It does not match my skin tone at all. However, the reason why I have picked this light one is because I use quite strong eyeshadows in bright colours. This allows the colour to come out even better. So it's absolutely brilliant. When I apply it on the lid, it's best to just use your finger and just dab it on. The only thing I would say is that if you've put it on the lid and you try and, I suppose, sort of brush it over with the finger, it could feel quite sore, and I don't know why is that. So I would definitely say don't ever sort of try and rub it in or anything. Where you've patted it down, just leave it where it is. I wouldn't recommend you do it on the entire eye because I don't think you're supposed to. But it's definitely a very, very good primer. However, I have been told it's quite strong, quite a lot of chemicals in there, so I wouldn't really recommend it for regular sort of daily use. But it's a heavy duty primer, so if you've got quite sensitive eyes, it might not be great for every single day, but it is an excellent primer. Now, the other thing I recommend is a concealer. Now this one is Deep Honey. It is a little bit light for me. It's a different sort of shade, but it works for the eyes. It's brilliant for dark circles, and it just comes out in a little tube like that, and I just put it on my hand and use what I want to use. But you don't have to use a lot, just enough, obviously. The only thing I would say is that you're going to make sure you've mushed it around a little bit, because it starts to separate and you end up getting like a liquidy separateness to it, if you want to call it that. The other concealer is this MAC concealer. Now the funny thing is, this concealer is actually far too dark for me. I don't know how many shades dark, but it is actually really dark. The reason why I got this is that when I tried it by accident, I noticed that regardless of how dark it is, when I applied it around the dark eye circles that I have, like near the top of the eye as well, it works really well. It actually covers it better than the light concealer. But I'd rather use this sort of near the top part of the under the eyebrows, sort of around there. But you know how it kind of darkens around the nose? It's really good there, because that's much darker, so it actually works. But I mean, I don't know how you guys do it, but this definitely works for me. The other type of concealer that I have is from Sheer Cover. Now this is quite old and maybe I shouldn't be using it, but what I find this is really good for, obviously I tend to use the darker shade, is that if there's like a major issue of spots or some scarring even, if you apply this after the primer and then put this on where the problem area is and then your foundation, it covers that really, really well. So it is good for things like that, but obviously haven't used it all the time, just on emergencies. So now I was thinking to go on to foundations, and like I've not used a lot of foundations over the years, but what I'm trying to do is that to get a blend that could work in the summer and the winter. A blend that's lighter and darker, of course. So at the moment, the contrast is between this, which is a L'Oreal True Match, even though it's not very true to me, and it's called Golden Sand. Now, apparently this is one of the darker shades, but when I've applied it initially, it's still just a little bit light. However, I like to put this down as the first base, after the primer obviously, and any concealer, but I like to put this down as a first base, and then I like to use my MAC foundation, and it's much darker. Now this is called NC45. It's very dark, it's actually too dark for me. But what I like about it is that when I just put a little bit on my sponge, on this sponge, I just put a little bit there from my hand, and then I kind of put it in from the sides where you would contour, I suppose. So my cheek areas and cheekbone itself has got the light, is slightly lighter, and then I've got it slightly shadowed with this foundation. I know people like using contouring sets. I thought I'd experiment in this way, but it does seem to work. So in the summer this was much better, obviously, as I've darkened. So they're usable. They're definitely usable. God, I'm making a mess over there. Okay. This is from L'Oreal, and it's not been used yet, so it's the same shade as that, and so it's Golden Sand. I can't say anything, but I have seen people use it quite a lot, and I'll have to sort of check it out, so I might give it a shot at some other point. Now this is Shea Cover. This is Almond. It's a minerals foundation, and I've had this for quite a long time. As you can see, it's used, but it's slightly light for me, so I don't mind too much if it's maybe an evening thing or something, I don't know. It's nice to set your makeup with, I suppose. I'm sorry, it's very squeaky. I'm very sorry. But it's nice to set your makeup with it, maybe. I don't know, it's kind of hit and miss. But you definitely have to put it on with a powder brush and see how you are with it. Along with that, you've got the Shea Cover. It's like a highlighter, I think. I just hope this one doesn't squeak. Yes, it's fine. There you go. And I think this might be quite good for a product to maybe do some contouring with it. Maybe you can put it underneath the eyebrow or on the cheeks. It just kind of gives it like a bit more of a shimmer. I'm not very familiar with this one, so I can't say too much. Can't seem to close it. Oh, done it, yeah. So those are my general stuff of the skin itself. Now what I wanted to move on to was eye products. So I suppose I'll start with liners. Now I'm going to start with the wild ones first. So I like to start with my silver eyeliner. Now this is from Bodycare. See if I could give you a little demonstration on here. I haven't even opened it yet, I've only just recently picked them up. But when I tried it there, the actual the glitter, the way it stays on your skin and on the eyes, is actually really, really good. So I've mentioned before, I've got a loose glitter and I was struggling to have it stick. But this actually seems to do just as a good job, and I want to give it a go. And now I bought two because they were on a special offer, and I thought, well, I always do use glitter anyway, so even if it's a little bit tricky, it can't be as bad as a loose glitter. I absolutely am looking forward to using these. As I might have mentioned before, I like to put glitter in the wing, like if you do like a split wing on the side of the eye. Now this one is, sorry I forgot to say that's from Body Shop, sorry, but this one is BD, and it's like a liquid satin or something. And it's like a purple. It's quite dry, I don't know why. But yeah, I thought, yeah, you know, you could experiment with it or something, but I've used it once, so I don't know. Now this is just a standard eyeliner, and I can't even see who is it from. Vivo, I think. But now the eyeliner itself is pretty good. The brush itself is actually quite thin, so when you apply it, it does apply very well. I can't say I'd recommend it for, I don't know, difficult lining. I don't know. I mean, it depends how confident you are to use these. But the only downfall with this is that it actually stings my eyes. So I can't say I'm 100% with this one. But if I'm doing eyeliner that goes more into a extended wing and I just want to fill it in a little bit, then I'll definitely use it, because I can't feel the stinging on that side of the eye. Now this is a Rimmel eyeliner, and I have never had problems with this. It's just standard black, and the brush is absolutely brilliant. There's more grip to the brush, and when you apply, it's like it's smoother from the tip, but yet firm enough around it, so it's got a bit more, I don't know, grip, I suppose. But I do really enjoy that one, and I think I'll definitely get this one on a regular basis. Now this one is Precision. It's a waterproof precision. My God, I can't say the word. Anyway, eye pen. Right. So it's from Urban Decay. It's black, and it's like that. Okay. So, shall we try it out? Oh look, it's not working. Now the story behind this, unfortunately, is that I bought it, checked it out, thought, wow, I'm going to have fun with this, it's going to be different to use a pen. Put the lid on, as firm as I could, and I think the next 2-3 days later or something, I went back in to actually use it, and the lid had fallen off, and it was absolutely dry, just as you just saw it now. Very, very annoyed with that. As you can imagine, Urban Decay is not cheap, and for it to just end up drying out like that, it's just disgusting. So yeah, they should have made the lids more firmer and so on and so forth. But because I didn't get it locally, there's no point driving to where I got it from just to get it again. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous that I went through that. So yeah, we've got some general eyeliners there for the inside of the eye. So these are Too True. They're from Too True. I believe from Superdrug. And you know, I have to say, this actual eyeliner, I really like this for the waterline. It's absolutely brilliant. And sometimes if you don't want to use it just for the waterline, you want to put it on the top a little bit, you can. And just use an angle brush to smooth it out a little bit. And then we've got these ones from Avon, and the Glimmer Stick Diamonds. Now, they're really good for like a blending, if you know what I mean. The texture is very different, so you can blend with it in a much better way. Now, this one is gold, and it's supposed to be for the waterline. It's the eyeliner from Body Shop. I say it's supposed to be because I don't know if I'll end up using it on my waterline. But the idea is that you put it on there so your eye actually looks bigger. I have not used it just yet, so I don't know about this one. So we'll get back to that one at some other point. Now these two, I don't even know where I got them from, I don't remember. But they're just silver and blue. I don't know if they're liners or shadows, I haven't got a clue, but I just keep holding them because sometimes at Halloween, like, it might come in use or something. And the same applies with these. We've got a clear glitter and a purple glitter. But when you apply these, I mean, I think you have to do quite a few layers before you get a decent result from them. Okay. So now I want to just briefly go through some of my kind of liquid, not liquid, gel liners. Because what I found is that, sorry, I'm just looking for the applicator, if I could find one. But yeah, because I just wanted to demonstrate what they are like. It's not in this box, okay, but I think it is in this box. Yes, okay. Now, I have this eyeliner polish and it's mellow brown. And I think it's from BD, yep. Now I've used this quite a lot, as you can see. It's definitely nice for like some sort of casual wear, but interesting enough, it's not bad as an eyebrow filler either. Now I never used to do any eyebrow filling, but I realised that with the extreme sort of eye makeup, the eyebrows looked a bit ill. So it's really, really good just sort of filling in a little bit. So I would recommend it for that. As for general eyebrow use, eyeliner, I'm not sure. It's quite a firm sort of texture, I suppose, and it doesn't flow very well. So I'm not entirely sure. Okay, this one is Lasting Drama Eye Gel Liner, and it's an O2 brown, and that's from Maybelline. Now it's a much lighter brown, and it's got a nice sort of like shimmer to it. I actually tried it once and I covered my whole lid and it looked interesting, but obviously it didn't stay on for very long at all. But yeah, it's definitely got a good brown to it there. So in that respect, yeah, it's a different type of brown. Okay. Just trying to wipe it off so I could use the next one. Okay, that's another one. And this is from Rimmel, and it's 001 Black. Supposed to be waterproof and whatever the rest. So this one is obviously very black. It's kind of like a matte black even. Now I mean obviously we've got three very different shades there. it's a good black. Now, the only reason I'm kind of hesitating with these products, or gel liners, is that I really can't apply them. I mean this is the actual Maybelline liner that came with it, but I have tried to apply all these shades, and I've had a proper angle brush to go with it. Not to go, well, it's bought separately, but I have an angle brush, and even using that, and I kind of take off the excess, or sometimes I'll like do this and make it into a nice point. But every time I'm applying it, it kind of feels really like clumpy. It doesn't, it's not smooth. And I watch people's videos, they're using it, and they're saying you just got to go with it. And I've really tried. In comparison to these ones, these I can't work with them. But if I'm doing some extreme look and I want to do some shadowing or something, they're really, really good in that respect. So definitely, I don't want to get rid of them. But as an eyeliner, I've not had much luck. So if you have any tips, please feel free. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to water it down a little bit or something, but it's definitely the wrong texture for me to do the type of looks that I want to do. For example, when I'm trying to do a cat eye or something, it took forever with an angle brush, and I've got a liner brush as well, so I'm not entirely sure about that. So they're the gel liners. Now, where was I? I thought we will go through some mascaras. Now, this is from Avon, and it is Super Shock. It is the Blackest Black mascara. Now, it is quite a big brush itself,